A temporary solution for this damaged pipe is to glue a piece of pipe larger than the hole inside of the pipe, and then glue a larger pipe over the hole. To make use of this old oil filter, we can remove the cap and take out the base plate. Then we can separate the two plates and grind off any excess metal. Now we'll weld screws to the plate, adding notches into the screws. Now we can attach this to our angle grinder. And now we have a very rough sanding disc to remove large amounts of material from wood. It's better to fasten a rope with a couple of washers than just a screw by itself. Before attaching wires to a screw, be sure to bend the wire around the screw before tightening. Plastic anchors are not very effective when installed into concrete or brick. A more secure option would be to use metal anchors. To fasten these two strips of wood together with a single wire, try this. With a loop on one end, pass a screwdriver through the loop and wrap the two loose ends of the wire together. Then clip off any excess wire. To create a brace for these two pipes, we'll first get a measurement using this piece of cord. Now we'll cut this threaded rod to the same length of the cord. Next, we'll mark the halfway point on the rod. And then we'll bend the threaded rod around the PVC pipe at the halfway point. We'll then secure the rod in a vise and bend it in half one more time. Now we can attach this to our pipes and secure everything with a metal bracket. To connect these pairs of wires together, we'll use a wire stripper to remove the plastic and then wrap one wire end around the middle of the wire using pliers to help. We'll then wrap the wires with electrical tape to seal everything up. This knot is called a surgeon's knot. We'll do 2 twists on the bottom and 1 on top. To make sure we join these boards together at a right angle, we can create a guide. We'll cut off a corner of plywood that has a 90-degree angle. We'll attach 2 small boards along its edge. Now we can clamp our boards onto our guide to ensure that they're installed at 90 degrees. For our next project, we'll be building an adjustable block for our vise. We'll start by cutting out a circle using this hole saw drill bit. Then we can sand off the sides and edges. Now we'll drill a larger hole in the center using a drill press. We'll pass a bolt through this hole, and then we'll cut out a square, drill a hole in its center, and install a T-nut. Now when we secure things into our vise, we can use this adjustable block to match the thickness of our piece. For our next project, we'll be building a very rudimentary gardening tool. We'll start by bending this rebar with 2 bends like so, and remove the excess with an angle grinder. We'll be attaching this rebar onto this pole, so we'll make some grooves on the end. Next, we'll drill holes into both ends of the rebar. Now we can attach the rebar to the pole with the help of a metal clamp. We'll also need clamps to secure our wires in place. We'll remove the nails and use these rivets. Now we can pass the wire through the rivets and through the holes in the rebar on both sides. Crimp the wire to the clamps and then hammer the clamps into the holes. This gardening tool will help us remove weeds. To remove a broken bolt, try welding a nut to it and then unscrewing it with a wrench. We can cut out this PVC pipe into a long, thin shape like so. From here, we'll glue a cap and a dropper to the top of the PVC pipe. When we're done, we want to make sure that the bottle still fits. Fill the bottle with water. And now we can use this as a low-tech watering system. To glue these two boards together edgewise, we can install some dowels. Start by hammering a nail into a scrap piece of wood. Now press the two pieces of wood together with the nail in between. We can use these markings to drill holes for our dowels. Now we'll apply wood glue to the edges and insert the dowels. It should be a perfect fit. To make sure these two wires don't slip, we'll need a more secure way to fasten them. We'll wrap the first wire back in the other direction, and then use the second wire to fold it back on itself for extra support. To install a switch on this light bulb, we'll demonstrate a few different methods. First, we'll pass the wire through a single switch. As you can see, the light turns on and off like normal. But what if we installed two switches? Although the wiring is a little bit more complicated, once everything is properly connected, the light will only turn on when both switches are in the on position. If we attach this wire through the sponge like so, we can use it to clean out the dust between the vents and our heaters. We can make wire clips by screwing zip ties into these pre-drilled holes. Then fasten the wire in the zip tie and cut off the excess. By adding a bit of super glue to these two PVC pipe clips, we can secure these two pipes perpendicularly. If we drill an extra hole into the side of this key like so, it'll make it much easier to find if we have a bunch of similar looking keys. Sometimes old keys can break off in the key slot. They can be difficult to remove with just tweezers. We can solder some wire to the old key to help us pull it out. To keep this baseboard flush with the wall, tape a bit of scrap wood at an angle like so. Let's heat up this pipe fitting with a blowtorch. Next, we'll twist the pipe into one end and the elbow joint into the other end. Pour a bit of water to cool everything down. Now when we unscrew the pipes, they'll fit together perfectly. Here we need to cut some rope. These scissors are not the right tool for the job. Instead, we can use the other end of the rope and a bit of friction to make our cut. When wrapping together 3 wires, try this. Hold them together side by side with a pair of pliers, then wrap the 2 end wires around the center wire in a spiral. Lastly, hold the center wire back down over the twisted wires. Use a drywall knife to help remove old wallpaper. We'll want to make sure that our drywall is flat and even before applying any new wallpaper. Remove any anchors and nails, and be sure to apply enough spackling to create an even surface. Then apply the new wallpaper. You can even use the drywall knife to clean up any mess on the floor. To prevent this straw from getting lost, we can glue an empty pen case to the side of this can and place the straw inside. We can tape together 2 toothbrushes to lubricate our bike chains. Our next little project will be building a stand that helps us solder wires together. We'll cut this plywood into 3 pieces and glue the edges together and secure them with screws. Next, we'll make notches using a handsaw and a file. Now the stand will act as an extra pair of hands while we solder our wires together. Let's make another notch here on our workbench. We can place a wire in the notch and use a razor to strip the plastic from the wires. Here's a fun way to make a DIY Christmas ornament. Arrange these nuts in a Christmas tree shape, then apply super glue and let dry. And for one of our last projects today, we'll be building our own DIY Christmas tree. We'll fasten 2 studs together perpendicularly with an extra long bolt through the center. Then we'll stack studs in decreasing size and secure them with a nut and a final stud on top. For the star, we can glue popsicle sticks together and decorate them with glitter. We can hang our ornaments on the tree like so. And what about a little Santa decoration? We can attach this mop to this cup and decorate it using a sock. Then we'll cut out a nose from this sponge. And with a few more candles and treats, we've created a nice atmosphere to get us into the Christmas spirit. Cracking hazelnuts can quickly make a mess. We can use these scissors to prevent the shells from flying everywhere. These metal clamps will also do the trick.